Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. Today, let us take a look at the markets and at some recent news surrounding cryptocurrencies. Now the markets first, you see I have CoinMarketCap open right here. We see a lot of sideways movement. We see Bitcoin down 0.02%, Ethereum down 0.38%, Ripple 0.47%, Bitcoin Cash 0.37%, Stellar 0.27%. We see tiny gains for Litecoin 0.29%. And a select few cryptocurrencies have large gains to report. EOS up 4.17%. After a bit of a correction the other day when it reached a similar price, now seems to be going back up. We have Monero up 7%, IOTA 4%. These lower cryptos outside the top 10 seem to be doing a bit better right now. Dash is up, Tron is up, Neo is up, VeChain is up, and Dogecoin or Dogecoin, I really don't care how people pronounce it, somehow shooting up 20%. I have to honestly say I do not know what is happening to this currency here, but it might just be investors being crazy. Bitcoin dominance still relatively high, 53.2%, and market cap at just about the same point it was yesterday, if I remember correctly, 225 billion. Now, we still have the slump from the other day, the correction, we see it right here, everything was down a bit. We see a bit of a recovery, but most cryptos haven't been able to catch the prices from 2 or 3 days ago again. Now let's look at an article here from CoinDesk. Bitcoin's price pullback risks bear revival below 6,900. This is a technical analysis, so let's just quickly read it together. Bitcoin bulls need to defend key support at 6,905 to avoid validation of the short-term bullish outlook. Having hit a peak of $7,139 Wednesday, the leading cryptocurrency is currently trading around $6,920 on Bitfinex, down 2% on a 24-hour basis. The drop does not come as a surprise, however, as the 21% rally witnessed in the last 2 weeks was looking overstretched. More notably, the short-term bull case would weaken if Bitcoin finds acceptance below the 100-day moving average of $6,905. Bitcoin created a spinning top candle yesterday, which when viewed against the backdrop of the 21% rally from the low of 8,507, likely represents bullish exhaustion. Looking ahead, a UTC close below the 100-day average lined up at 6,905 would validate the spinning top candle and shift risks in favor of a downside break. Acceptance below the wedge support would confirm a bullish to bearish trend change. That is, the rally from the low of 5,859 has ended, and the bigger downtrend from the July high of 8,507 has resumed. In this case, Bitcoin could revisit recent lows below $6,000. Hence, the bulls need to defend the 100-day monthly average of $6,905 to keep the short-term bullish outlook intact. This might be a tough call, as the short duration charts are pointing to an increased risk of further losses. As seen on the above chart, Bitcoin has breached the rising trendline in favor of the bears. Further, the relative strength index has taken out the ascending trendline support. As a result, the emboldened bears may push the cryptocurrency down to the 50 candle MA, currently located at $6,735. Now, the view, this is the thing us normals and not technically minded people have to pay attention to. A UTC close below $6,905 would confirm a spinning top bearish reversal and strengthen the odds of a downside break. A rising wedge would signal a resumption of the sell-off from the July high and could yield a drop to 6,000. A close above the 100-day MA would keep the bulls in the game and allow a sustained move to 7,200. Now, when was this article written? A couple minutes ago. Oh, no, actually, this is UTC is, of course, not my time. It was written about 7 hours ago, I believe. Now, I don't know which price it ended the day on, but I think it managed to remain above. Let's take a look at the 1 day here. I'm pretty sure it managed to remain above the 6,905 support. The lowest we see here is 6,969, 6,980, and this was all a bit longer ago already. I'm sorry about that background noise. I hope you guys can't hear too much. This just started construction again. It's kind of annoying. Okay, next up. While we had this potential bearish reversal, let's look at a study that says long-term $98,000 could be a potential Bitcoin price. According to new research conducted by initial coin offering advisory firm Satis Group, the BTC price could potentially reach $98,000 in the next 5 years. Now this is a big claim, this is a high number, but we have seen even higher predictions for Bitcoin, so let's see what they have to say. The report represents the fourth part of a 5-part series covering the crypto space. The report states that in terms of upward tendencies in cryptocurrencies over the next 5 years, Bitcoin will reach 96,000, which is weird, the title says 98,000. Monero will reach 18,000 and Decred will hit 535. Bitcoin Cash is forecast to slump to 268 after it attempts to inherit brand recognition and provides minimal technological advantage. Crypto assets which have centralized ownership will supposedly represent little value with a forecast Ripple XRP price of 1 cent. Okay, and this is where I was like, what the fuck? This isn't like, whatever you think about XRP, whatever you think about Ripple's technologies, a long-term 1 cent price seems utterly ridiculous for the problems they're aiming to solve and for the tech they have backing it up and for all the banks and companies they're already working for. So right here, this whole thing becomes a lot less trustworthy to me. The research team forecasts that the Ethereum platform network will lose share from nearly entire to half share in 2028. The latest study also expands on the valuation of crypto assets needed to support a forecasted economy and provides market condition estimates for the next 10 years. According to the report, the value of crypto assets needed to support the economy will increase from approximately 500 billion to 3.6 trillion by 2028, while 90% of crypto asset value will be extracted from penetration of offshore deposits in the next 10 years. I can absolutely see the 3.6 trillion happening. The markets are growing and the market cap will grow accordingly. But I just can't get over them predicting a 1 cent Ripple. And it's not because I like Ripple, which I do. It's because it just strikes me as utterly ridiculous. Just looking at their tech, looking at their products, looking at how huge a company they are with their 4 billion, not 4 billion, 20 billion. That it just strikes me as ridiculous. But while we're on the topic of Ripple, we have another news item here. Ripple scores small win against investors claiming XRP as a security. Ripple, of course, being sued by a whole bunch of people, but Ripple are smart and Ripple have good lawyers, so they have made sure to consolidate multiple lawsuits into one. They had a bunch of individual lawsuits, now these get put together into one, and instead of having to fight multiple lawsuits individually, they will just have to fight this one bigger lawsuit now. So that is what's happening there. This is very good for Ripple, because it means they can use their resources more effectively. But of course, we will still have to see how this lawsuit itself turns out. They are now dealing with a judge that they previously successfully removed from another lawsuit, and it remains to be seen if they will be trying to remove that judge again. Now, next up, CBOE to launch Ethereum futures trading later this year. Now, we've had a lot of Bitcoin futures trading. I'm actually not sure if there had been Ethereum futures before, but they are coming. The owner of the Chicago Board Options Exchange and one of the world's largest exchange holding companies is looking to launch futures for Ethereum. Sources familiar with the situation told Business Insider that they are planning to launch Ethereum futures by the end of 2018. It will reportedly base them on Gemini's underlying market. The operator also based its Bitcoin futures on the crypto exchange. So this is what we're seeing in the near future. There has been a lot of criticism of Bitcoin futures, and they have really been playing around with the prices. So it remains to be seen how this will affect Ethereum prices. I'm going to refrain from stating my opinion here right now because I feel like I need a few more information on this. But this is what's happening. And then last but not least, messaging giant Line is launching its own cryptocurrency. Now, if you're European or American, there's a good chance you have no idea what Line is. Line is an Asian company, and at least in Japan, I believe also in other Asian countries, it is the predominant messaging app. People there don't use WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger or Telegram or Snapchat to message their friends. They use Line. And that is a massive, massive company, and they are now launching their own cryptocurrency, and the Genesis block has already been produced on August 23rd. interesting thing here is they're not doing an ICO. Instead, they are giving away their coins. 80% of them, they will retain 20%, as often happens with these things. They're giving away 80% of their coins to users, but not just willy-nilly. They don't just randomly give every user the same amount. What they're doing is they will reward users for using dApps or dApps built on top of their network with coins. So I think this is a very smart idea. They have a massive user base, and they're incentivizing them to use dApps. Of course, dApps are what is being built on top of a lot of blockchains now, on top of a lot of cryptocurrencies, but they haven't really found mainstream adoption to the same degree as the cryptocurrencies themselves yet. So this massive company incentivizing all its many users to start using dApps could be just the push that dApps need, at least in Japan. They're planning to release over 10 of them by the first quarter of 2019 already, and this could be really huge. This could be really big for crypto moving into the mainstream in Japan, because I don't know how many Japanese people you know, but in my experience, adding someone online is one of the first things a lot of them do when they meet you. So this is a huge platform, and if they can push this through, if they have good tech underlying this, that can mean that at least in Japan, dApps could become mainstream pretty much from one day to the next when Line starts rolling them out, and it will be directly tied to giving people crypto tokens. So this is fantastic. This is spectacular news. Very excited about this. And this is where I'm going to end today's video. What do you guys think about that Ripple prediction at 1 cent? Like, that's... I think Bitcoin at 98,000 is realistic, because we've seen similar predictions. We've seen higher predictions from other people, especially because it's a long-term prediction. But, oh, come on, Ripple at 1 cent. Don't expect me to. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you guys soon.